professional astrologer from the village of Nyack in New York State, and I'm passionate about in-depth astrology and getting to the heart of the matter. In this video, I want to talk about Cancer Sun and Cancer Rising for 2023. So welcome here. If you are new to this series of videos, I recommend that you watch your rising sign first, as this gives a sense of timing for the year. Also, take a day or two on either side when I do mention a date, because it depends on your time zone. So Cancer, you are known for your nurturing and caring qualities, and you bring these qualities very strongly into whatever work you do, whether you work formally or you work in the home, whether you work for pay or without pay. You bring a sense of excellence into what you do. And the question is then, how can you turn this caring and nurturing energy which you give to others more towards yourself, so that at the same time that you are nourishing others, the world, people at work, your students, your patients, your clients, can you also turn some of that energy in towards yourself, so that the nurturing can be renewed and refreshed constantly, and you don't find yourself depleted. Let's look at an overview of 2023 Cancer before we dive in month by month. And I want you to focus on work, which we've opened with, because you've had Jupiter, the planet of expansion, in that area of your chart through a lot of 2022. And you want to be prepared for the first 5 months of 2023 to continue this period of expansion at work, of growth, or of things switching around a little bit and you reformulating your job description. Whatever's going on for you at work, if you don't work, use your common sense. It might be your public standing, whatever you're doing out in the world. But those first 5 months of 2023 are going to demand a lot of attention and focus at work. So I ask you, how can you keep some of that energy for yourself, and how can you be very selective in the projects that you take on? Because all of a sudden, since 2022, things are really opening up for you. You're seeing the bigger picture, you're seeing the potential rainbow, and it's a challenge not to put too much on your plate. So take it easy. From May until December of 2023, Jupiter will then move into an area of your chart which is about fulfilling your dreams, focusing more on your goals, and being able to possibly even bring an increased salary from work or more money in from different areas. Not only your job, maybe you'll be taking on an extra job in the second part of 2023. So it's all looking very positive, Cancer, and as long as you can keep that flow going between nurturing others and nurturing yourself. Now, the second major energy that we want to take note of for 2023 for you is that Saturn, our planet of karma, our planet of discipline, our planet of structure, is going to finally move into a very positive area of your chart. This is going to happen early middle of March, and it's going to offer you opportunities to broaden your horizons through study or possibly through travel. Also, you might be able to meet people from other countries and cultures, which then expand your own life, whatever you're doing. So it marks the end of a period since December 2017 where there's been a lot of hard work required of you from Saturn. It could have been work on your relationships. It could have been work on your public standing, how you are relating to people out at work. There could have been a lot of financial adjustments that you've needed to make since then, especially in terms of money coming in from other sources. In other words, from sources that you do not earn directly yourself. So you might have had some losses or adjustments in the stock market. Whatever the case, there have been 5 years, more or less, of pretty serious lessons. And now with Saturn moving in March into that new area in your chart, you're going to begin a 2.5-year cycle of this expansion. So give it something to do. I recommend that you do plan a new study course over the next 2 to 3 years, that you do plan to travel. And if neither of those are available to you, we could be looking at a deepening of your daily spiritual practice. And now seems like a good time to go deeper into the year, month by month. Before I begin that, just a word that always trust your intuition. Don't let anybody, an astrologer, a psychic, anyone, tell you how you should feel about something that's happening in your life. This astrology forecast is very broad, so you have your own unique chart and you may not be in total sync with what's happening in a very general sense. So I invite you to use this as a guide only and to always go back to whether it resonates with you, because that is the fullest expression of astrology. We need to learn how to stand in the center of our charts and trust ourselves. The planets are always circling around, and it's as if they are pressing our buttons in one way or another. And ultimately, we need to stand under their influence and not be swayed, either positively or negatively. And this is part of us developing our own sense of self. So 2023 begins for you, Cancer, with a beautiful full moon in your sign on January the 6th. This is going to shine a light on what's been going on in your life, and it's going to start the year for you. Secondly, there's another influence around January 13th, which also suggests forward movement, moving, increasing energy, more light. So I invite you to use the first couple of weeks of January to plan, to get ready, but don't do too much action until mid-January has passed and the planetary energies seem to suggest this forward movement. If you recall from last year's video, you will have had action planet Mars in a very quiet place in your chart for September, October, November, and December of 2022. And it's going to continue on in that area until the end of March 2023. However, after mid-January, it's going to pick up speed. So you're going to be processing and dealing in a more easy way with things that have been going on during November and December of 2022. Only you know what that is. It could be something behind closed doors. It could be something that you've had to sort out before you can move forward with anything else in your life. Only you know what that is, Cancer. But after mid-January, things start to become a little clearer for you and you know which direction you're moving in. February continues on pretty much the same note. There's nothing major to report, and you want to just keep going to work, doing your regular thing. Put your head down and put your nose to the grindstone, so to speak. The early part of March sees that movement of Saturn into a new positive area of your chart. So do something that week to mark that 2.5-year sojourn. Sign up for a course, book a trip for later on in the year, something symbolic which shows this shift into an area where you are now into expansion as opposed to a feeling of contraction which might have been occurring for the last 5 years or so. The second thing that happens in March is a jam-packed week in the third week in March. Firstly, around the 21st, there's the first of 2 new moons that are going to be in your house of work. So as you can see, once again, we mentioned in the overview, work is very emphasized this year. So what can you be aware of around that new moon that wants to grow, that wants to expand in your place of work? Is there something that needs to breathe, new seeds that need to be planted that will really take off over the next couple of years? The second very important shift in March is the move of outer planet Pluto into Aquarius. Now this is a gradual move. It's going to take 2 years and will only finally switch signs in the end of 2024. But I did want to bring this because the end of March marks the beginning of this transition of Pluto moving out of your house of relationships, where it's been for a full 15 years, Cancer. So if there have been enormous times of growth and challenge for you in the area of relationship, challenges that have helped you to dig deep and to really see what work needs to be done in terms of relationship, this has all been worth it, because Pluto will now be slowly entering a new area of your chart, which has to deal with going deep into things like astrology, therapy, psychoanalysis, anything that interests you and is of an occult or hidden nature is going to be favored for many years to come. The other way this Pluto transit could manifest will be an empowerment of your finances or your partner's finances. So I invite you at that end of March, know what's going on and make some kind of symbolic gesture to honor this slow movement of Pluto into Aquarius. The third and final energy that we want to speak about for March is the movement of that action planet finally out of that area that it's been since late August of 2022 and into your sign, into the light. If you're a Cancer ascendant, it's coming into your first house. So this is going to bring a lot of development, a lot of action, a lot of movement. It might feel as if you're stepping out of a place where you have been in the shadow for a while and you're finally ready to greet the light, to stand up and to say, this is the new me, this is what I'm going to be doing now, and this is what I've processed since late August, early September last year. My only suggestion would be that you don't overschedule that final period of March, so around March 20th to the end of the month. Don't overdo it because there is a lot of energy about. So you want to take time to turn inwards, time to be in nature and time to reflect. When there are so many planetary shifts going on, the quieter we are inside, the more we can be in alignment with what is happening. Now moving on into April 20th, give or take that day or two on either side, sees the second new moon in Aries. So that is your solar house of work. And that new moon is a solar eclipse as well. And wherever we have eclipses in our chart, they tend to shake things up and bring about some change in the months that follow on from the eclipse. So I invite you to be aware of that. Are there changes going on at work that need your attention? If so, lay low before the eclipse and begin to honor the changes, to make the changes, to invite the changes after the eclipse on the 20th. The second thing that happens in April is that there's going to be a little bit of a slowdown period around the 22nd to May 15. And that's in a very positive area of your chart, Cancer. So it's a place where it's a good time to hang out with old friends. Can you plan a trip where you hook up with old friends during that time? Can you invite people over to your house? Maybe someone's going to come to stay. Whatever the case, use some time in late April, early May to reconnect with friends from the past, to kick back and relax a little bit. Another reason why you may want to be hanging out with friends in early May is because there's a potential for friends to turn into lovers, or something positive to happen on the romance front if you are looking for romance. If you're not, this could be a very creative time. If you're a writer or an artist or are involved in that area at all. And it can also be a positive time for speculation. You're going to have Venus, planet of love, beauty, romance, good food, money, traveling through your sign from around May 8th until June 6th. So there's that potential to utilize those energies beautifully. The other reason why love is favored at that time is there's going to be an eclipse on May 5th in your house of romance, your house of creativity, your house of speculation. For example, if you trade on the stock market, that's a kind of speculation. So pay attention early in May. Hang out with friends, see if anything develops, and also pay attention to your inner creative self, which might be calling for deeper expression at this time. Late May and early June see quite a strong focus on finances, and this for some of you will go towards the end of June as well. I see you either spending more money than usual or trying to consolidate the money that you have and feeling that you have to somehow get a better grip on your financial situation. So it's favored that you do this at this time, that you reflect on things. If you want to spend more money, you need to earn more money. So how are you going to bring that money in? From June 12th to October 10th, we're going to see a Venus retrograde period for everyone. For you, that's going to take place in your house of finances. So you want to get things in order there. Not a great time then for romance. So once June is well underway, it's fine to hook up with friends or people you might have known from the past, but not a great time for a new romance or for a new financial venture. Save that for the very end of the year, for November or December. So somehow there's this sense that you are revisiting things from your past, getting them in order, and really trying to make sense of what's been happening for the last year or so. And if you're not interested in romance at all, this can be a time where you really focused on the needs of your children and you're helping them out. They may be going through big transformations. Some of them might be buying new property or moving to a new town, and you want to give them a lot of support at this time. And once again, in the art field, for those of you who are involved in any kind of creative pursuit, go back to the drawing board, go back to old projects that you put on the back burner years ago, and now may be the time to resuscitate them. June the 22nd is the beginning of your birthday period, so happy birthday, Cancer. I wish you all the best for 2023. And just after that, around the 27th of June, looks like a great time to take a trip, plan something the next 3 weeks or so. I see a lot of movement, traveling here, traveling there, short trips, maybe a weekend away. Also, you could possibly be signing new contracts on a new home. Some kind of action is happening, so go with that and use it wisely. July 1st is one of the most positive days of the year for you. You can give or take a day or two on either side and plan something wonderful for that day. Clear communication energy and a lot of enthusiasm in the mix. The other energy in July is there's going to be a shift into your house of communication. In other words, if you're in a business that requires you to really put yourself forward through any modern means of communication, this is a great month to do it in. You're also going to have the opportunity to hook up with siblings, brothers or sisters. If there's things to resolve at that time between you, go for it. It's a good time. And you're also building towards your new moon, which is going to be on July 17. And that is a wonderful time of year to set your intentions and to reflect on how far you've already come. Because you are Cancer and the moon is your ruler, you are very much affected by new and full moons, as well as by eclipses. And if you have your chart, you want to check all the planets and angles in your chart, the degrees, and see if any new or full moons contact them, because these are going to be especially powerful for you. So at that new moon, take time to go within, take time to nurture yourself and to recharge, because after the new moon, something is going to grow and expand. Wherever you place your energies, that will be what manifests. So put good energy around that new moon and good will follow. August continues pretty much in the same pattern for you, Cancer. Then around the end of August, 23rd, 24th, 25th, there's another shift where things move into the home and you suddenly are presented with energy in your home that you need to take care of. This area can not only reflect the home, but it can also reflect endings and beginnings that need your attention. Is there something that you need to let go of at this time? Moving all the way on into September, is there something that needs to begin and that takes an effort on your part? This energy is coupled with another energy which is showing me that you are returning to something that you may not wish to be returning to. Maybe it's a job, or maybe you're having to review old work, old papers, old stuff, old something that you thought you'd seen the back of long ago. Whatever the case, face this bravely. It's only a 3-week period that you need to buckle down, get back to things, and let them unfold at their own pace. The more we resist things, the harder they become to manage. So whatever you're returning to, whatever's ending, whatever's beginning, whatever takes an effort on your part, go into it willingly. And that's going to be the first 3 weeks or so of September as you get back into the saddle and things unfold. September sees you very much busy with family, it looks like, and this is going to culminate around mid-October when there's an eclipse again in that house of family, bringing things to the surface, things that might need to be cleared, or simply demonstrating that you've had a long period of working on something in the home and now that is coming to an end. So pay attention at that time. The middle of October has a lot going on. There's also a shift where you could be dealing with your children again, spending a lot more time with them. They might need you at that time. And once again, an energy coming in from mid-October to late October, which sees you focused on creative projects or on taking a little bit of time for yourself. So the family thing could heal, it could be over, it could be coming to an end. You'll feel that transition mid-October, and then there's that lovely switch to a focus on creativity and also on a sense of self-healing. Love given, love received, because there's a lot of energy and activation in those two houses. How much, once again, are you giving to others? How much are you allowing yourself to receive? Or do you simply output all the time and you find it a challenge to receive love from others, to receive nurturing? Do you let other people cook you a meal? The lunar eclipse at the end of October may highlight this very issue, and it's a wonderful time for getting yourself back in balance. November sees business as usual, going about your daily life, sorting out all the stuff that has been coming up in October. And then around the 25th, there's another opportunity to relax, to take some time for yourself and to focus on your health. Everybody in the zodiac gets a month of the year where health becomes in focus. And for you, Cancer, it's the last week in November and going on to the first few weeks in December. So use that time to go for your well visits, go for your checkups, do any minor adjustments to your diet that you would like to see you healthier. Maybe you're going to energize your exercise program, which has been pretty good over the last couple of months and years. So don't allow too much fluctuation. You want to simply, if you need to make a change, make a simple change. Don't go on a drastic diet. They don't work. Simply introduce some more exercise, take a good health check, and this is going to see you in through the holiday season in December. From mid-December, I also invite you to slow down a little bit on the planning and travel front. You know, we have a Mercury retrograde period which begins around the 14th and ends in the early part of January 2024. And that suggests for everyone that there can be some travel delays or just snaffness because everyone's trying to get about at that time to see loved ones. So my only suggestion to you is to take it easy. If you are booking a trip between December 14th and January 2nd or so, take lots of time in between stopovers, take lots of time to get to the airport, and don't rush about. You want to always allow extra time. Mercury retrograde periods are also wonderful just to chill at home, to hook up with old friends, and to relax. We can clean out the cupboards, or we can just put our feet up and enjoy a break from too much go, 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 which has been the pattern for the year. So I invite you to do that, Cancer, and I also invite you to enjoy the full moon in your sign, which is going to take place on December 26th. So if you've been building towards something that you began at your new moon around the time of your birthday, now it can come to fruition. So stay calm, stay quiet, enjoy that full moon, let something blossom at that time, and go into 2024 strong and ready to face whatever comes. Thank you. If you found anything helpful in this forecast, I invite you to like and subscribe. And I love your comments. I read each and every one. Wishing you well, Cancer. Until next time.